Cosmic Conversations. I am your host, Sheila Seppi, and we have a brand new month and a brand new co-host. Our co-host for this month is going to be April Dyck, and I'm going to talk about her in just a few moments. And tonight, she also is going to be our speaker. And so I'm really excited to have her here. I do have another special guest with us who's going to give just a really brief overview about an exciting event that's coming up that he's going to be leading. So Phil, if you want to come on up, this is Phil Gruber. For those of you who don't know Phil, our beloved Phil, he is absolutely amazing. He is one of the most, what would we call you, a rockin' spiritual teacher out there. And so Phil, go ahead and share a little bit about yourself as well as the workshop coming up, please.
Okay, really briefly, I'm in the United States. I'm in lovely West Hollywood at the Earth URTH Cafe in lovely West Hollywood, Melrose Avenue. So I'll be doing a weekend program. I think it's in Vail, Colorado, in person. It's been years since I've been stateside, since before COVID. So if you're not going to be or plan to be or know anybody who is going to be in the Vail, Colorado area, this is going to be recorded. And so you don't have to attend in person. I mean, if you can't, of course, in person is always the best. But these programs will be recorded. And so if you can't attend in person, you can have the recordings to view at your leisure. These are going to be very, very, very powerful programs. I also may have a couple of special guests on with me. The descriptions are on the Galactic Alliance Facebook page. I will repost them. And also I'll be offering private sessions that can also be done via Zoom. So I hope to see many of you while I'm in the States. I'll be here till the middle of June. I'll be bouncing around a lot. So I just wanted to say hi to everybody. It's great to be back. And I'm really looking forward to this weekend with Sheila in her lovely, lovely corner of the world. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Phil. Soon. Yeah, I'm very excited about having you here. So woohoo! Yeah. It'll be fun. So if you guys are near Vail, Colorado, and you want to come hear Phil speak live and in person, if you want to meet him, if you want to have a private session, just let me know. You can go to my email at sheila@sheilaseppi.com and just reach out and we will let Phil know that you want to join us. So now, yes, you are very welcome, Phil. So I'll see you in person on Thursday.
Yep, you bet.
Great. All right. So what I'd like to do now is to bring up a wonderful lady, April. April, let me get you up here. I want to spotlight you for everyone.
Oh, okay.
Yay! So April is going to be my lovely co-host for the month. And April, I want to share a little bit about you, about her with you, because you have quite an impressive resume. And I want to be sure that everyone understands exactly why I wanted April to be my co-host. First off, she is a dear sister to my heart. I love her dearly, dearly, dearly. And she is our special guest as well as our co-host for the month. So April is a Canadian contemporary painter and visual artist living in Vancouver Island, British Columbia. She was born in Ontario and has lived and worked coast to coast. She is an author, photographer, exo-conscious and drawing teacher. She also is a contactee. Her paintings have won awards and she enters competitions to challenge her skills. She is a winning designer of the highway sculpture sign. Woohoo! Congratulations, April. And her artistic style is uniquely original to her. She conducts drawing classes for experiencers of angels, aliens, UAPs, UFOs, orbs, and the supernatural. And she brings together the UF community with exciting new ideas and ways of self-expression. Her own experiences helps others to share their vision, experiences, and artistic growth. April is a member of 2 orb research groups and shares her large library of orb photos and videos through her book, Making Contact with Orbs, a photo journal, her YouTube channel, and her website. Tonight, she's going to speak to us about the influences of ET's galactic history on Earth. And if you have not purchased her orb book, you've got to run out. I meant to have mine so I could hold it up and say, and here is her book. Run out and purchase that. But you can get it on Amazon. And you have put together some phenomenal orb photos for people. So if you guys are into orbs, check it out. Making Contact with Orbs by April Cotton Dyck. So April, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sheila. I feel really honored and privileged to be here and see everybody and hear. I think I mentioned to you earlier that it's very rare for an artist to get to explain about their art. And I work in series of art. So my paintings they take a long time. It's quite a process. And I'm going to take you through a journey of a 10-year journey, a personal 10-year journey of mine. I'm going to share with you about dimensionals, refugees, grids that I've come across within the dimensions, solutions of how we can help. And so can I just go right into sharing, or do you have any questions, Sheila, or you want me to just go right in?
No. And, April, one of the beautiful things about having April here this month is we are going to focus on a plethora of artists who's going to be sharing their art, talking to you about their inspirations. And so I'm very, very excited. If you know anyone who's an artist, please have them to tune in every Monday night this month. So April, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you. And thank you again for being our presenter as well as my co-host.
Thank you. I feel really privileged. Thank you very much. So I put together quickly today because I found out around noon that I was going to speak. So I put together a collection of art that I've been working on for the past 10 years, specifically on my series of dimensional beings. So I have here probably what I first experienced was a lot of energy and frequency, a lot of angelic energy coming in, and I seem to be really aware of it. And I do see light people. I call them people because I think they are. And I wanted to describe what I was feeling. So this painting developed, and what we're seeing is an army of angels, I call them, descending onto the earth instead of. Now there is a bit of a perspective thing. I mean, you could look at it that they're going into the tunnel or that they're coming out of the tunnel. So everybody will see art is subjective, and but I hope you get the feeling of it, the feeling of the space, and that this coming forward to us. Here's a close-up of it. So I try to describe a lot of information with the least amount of lines or texture, or I just really wanted to describe what I'm feeling and what I sense. And so there's a bit of a journey happening. And another thing that I do with my art, which maybe a lot of artists do, is before I do a large piece, I have to work out a lot of different ideas. And so I start off with just 1-inch drawings, really. 1-inch little drawings, lots and lots and lots. And then I'll work up to color. And so this is a sketch for the painting I just showed you. This sketch is my idea, what colors, what construction. So to work on, to complete a large piece, that's why it is a process and easily can take me a year to do, because I want to get it right. I want to describe it correct. So after becoming aware of all this energy and frequency and light people, and I started hearing kind of like angel music or angel frequency, and it got stronger and stronger. And I really didn't understand what it all meant. But I did end up starting to study science and understanding about frequency, radio frequency, all kinds of frequency. So this painting describes what I felt and heard. So you see the faces all coming out. Each one has their own sound. Each one has their own frequency. And so this is a journey that I was learning while I was doing my meditations, astral travel. And I got really emotional with this painting, I have to say. And forgive me, I can't look at chat. If anybody tries to send me a chat message, I won't be able to answer until the end. So here we go. This is a description of refugee dimensional beings. And I used to think about refugees on Earth and how frightening it must be, to leave your home, to leave your possessions, your friends, and off you go to who knows where with maybe some diapers for your baby. But these are real life things. And so we know as above, so below. And there are seemingly dimensional beings locked within this dimension. So another common thing that I noticed when I put together this series, Sheila, was this circle-ish sun or moon, but also what's really important into describing what I'm feeling is color. Color, each own has its own frequency. So each person, when they look at this painting, will feel different, see different, which is fascinating as an artist. I did a painting once of a red painting, and a man came up to me and said, "Oh, what a great purple painting." And I thought, oh yeah, or they may see green instead of red. You never know. So that's the beautiful thing about being humans. It's because we all see unique, we all feel unique. So anyways, here we go, this crowd of refugees on this long road up to mountains leading nowhere. Who knows where can they go? And it really was strong on me. This is a huge painting. This is like, I don't know, 5 feet by 4 feet, it's very large. But again, I was like, maybe it was I became really aware of these refugees, these entities within the dimension, locked within the dimension. And they really seemed homeless, scattered, no hold. It doesn't seem like a very nurturing place. And these entities seem to be just wandering. And they were clearly in my conscious, and not just my subconscious, but my conscious. And so I was exploring more about this dimensional thing. And this is what happened. While I came across these grids. And I call them dimensional grids. But this particular grid, it was real. It was definitely real. And it didn't seem penetrable. It didn't seem like I was able to get through this. But I could clearly see beyond the grid. I could clearly see there was a lot of energy, there was a lot of frequency. And again, the colors mean something. So whatever you want, but it was hard. It was a very hard grid. It was not, I was not able to penetrate it. But I could clearly see there was a lot of energy behind it. Maybe what we're looking at is miasms. I'm not sure. But this is clearly what I saw. And this is another large oil painting. When I do work in oils, it's, again, a long process because I love layering color on color. And I have to let the colors dry in between. So it's quite a slow process. So a painting like this could easily take me a year to complete, from idea to finished. Once I sign my name, that's it, I'm done. I can't do anymore. That's my rule. I self-imposed rule that I have. But this was real. This was real. And I didn't have any awareness, any education on what grids were. So that came later. So I was just really getting confused. This is another oil painting. I think it's upside down, but you get it. It's, grids and colors and frequencies and just little glimpses of hope and little glimpses of space. And it's a whole different world, literally. And you have to get used to it. And I found I can go there consciously. I can bilocate, which is my favorite way of going. Or in your dreams. So once I was able to get past grids, I found the safety net. I was like so excited about this. So it was a softer grid, and it was full of light, and it had all kinds of glowing pink and yellow and gold, and it was very strong, but it wasn't harsh like the other grid I showed you. It was not harsh. And beyond that grid, I could see swirls of color, people, just hints of like a whole nother world again. It's like, where am I going? And I really sense that this is like inner earth. So here's a close-up of, this is another really large painting. This one's probably 5 feet by 4 feet again. But I love working in large paintings. And I love oil because I know for sure the durability of it will be forever compared to our modern pigments and materials. So, okay, so now I'm really happy. I learned about, different grids, and I'm seeing new space, and I feel hope. And then I got this really strong message probably about 5 years ago. And this painting represents kind of like a meeting I had with a bunch of light people. And they were all explaining to me, I'm going to start crying. I thought I would get emotional.
It's absolutely beautiful. It's really lovely.
Okay, sorry. It's so real. And I've never put this story together. And today I was going, oh my God, so real. Anyways, so now that I'm more educated and I've worked on more personal development, I realized that what I'm looking at with the 5 bodies is myself, my 5 Hoover bodies within. So we're all connected. That was the message. The message is we're all one. We're all connected. And this was really important for me to understand. And I try not to get emotional, but it's real. Okay, so I'm taking you through a journey of a 10-year journey, a progression of my learning over meeting these dimensional beings and the dimensional grids. And so then I met light people. They were showing me that we have controls. No, that they have controls. I had to get a tissue. I really do.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I really love this particular piece. I can't wait to hear the description. I've got so many questions I want to ask you about the grid after you show all of this. It's really beautiful.
You. So again, the light people were showing that through frequency, our own frequency, that we can have positive effects on the world and the universe. And you have to, there's 2 ways to go. So here I'm demonstrating what I saw was like a glass tube, and in the center, and it was it had its own energy, created its own energy, kind of like plasma, but not, it didn't need to be contained like plasma. So anyways, you can manipulate these frequencies, and it's very positive painting. This is actually the sketch. I haven't done the painting. So this is but part of the process, or this is part of the story of how they revealed themselves to me. Yeah. Oops. Okay. Then I got confronted with these people. These people are in the inner earth, and they are also refugees. And you can, they're asking for our help. So they're confronting us, or they're confronting me, and I'm relaying the message. So in the background, you will see there's many witnesses. There's many people that know about this, and they're trapped. And the larger ones looking at us straight on, saying, "Now you know, what are you going to do about it?" They're exhausted. They've been there for thousands of years. And so now here we are. We know about them. And it's quite a strange space. Inner Earth has its own light. Tunnels. Oh my gosh, there's like so many places to explore within the Inner Earth. And I think it was a progression for me. Like I said, I've been working on this for like 10 years. So it's been very kind, the progression. So my solution, ta-da, is the yellow blanket. So again, we're talking about frequencies, and I'm really simplifying the paintings. I know that one thing I'm guilty of is naming my paintings many names, because I've never exposed publicly or ever maybe what I've been working on for the past 10 years. So it became really, it was from the Native women of Canada that I got the idea about the yellow blanket. And the yellow blanket is actually a dimensional tool that these feminine, I became really aware there is a feminine factor targeted within the inner earth, and they are they've been there a long time, and now we can create a way out. So color again, frequency. I'll give you a close-up of this yellow blanket. So the yellow blanket, the entities are able to enter the thread of the blanket towards the center, which is the galactic. It lets them out. It's a ticket out, and they need it. They're exhausted. So it's very dimensional painting. I'm trying to describe a lot of information in a very limited space. And so the bands of dimension below and above means something. The maybe this is the grid itself that they're standing on, but yeah, it's just.
Would that happen to be representation? I can't even speak tonight. In the movie The Matrix.
I've never seen them.
When Neo's offered the red or the blue pill.
I am telling everybody right now, purple pill. Red plus blue equals purple. There's always a third way. Don't take the red or blue. Take both of them. We don't know what's going to happen when we take the purple pill. Best option. And I don't watch movies, but I did watch the beginning of The Matrix because everybody want to watch that. You got to watch that. And I got up to the pill part and I thought, how stupid is this? Sorry. Sorry, people who do, But yes, the purple pill. I'm glad I got to say that.
Yes.
Okay. This particular painting, is it visible? Is it visible? Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Oil painting. It's called Consciousness Travel. And that took a lot of work to figure out how to explain what it looks like, or what it feels like, what it looks like when you leave your biological body, I guess. See, I'm still in the process of learning the right vocabulary, but this is what I see. I've shown this to other remote viewers and other people who travel outer space and stuff, and they said, yeah, that's exactly what it looks like for me too. So that was really encouraging to be able to show people who don't have that experience yet what they might anticipate. So it's soft, it's billowy, it's open, it's friendly, there's nothing to fear. And we are in control of our own consciousness. And we are more than we've been told. So that's my message, what I try to convey. But, the journey keeps on going for me. And I'll share this painting here. This painting, I've always hidden the real meaning of this painting. I've always told people it's morphogenesis. It's this, it's that, it's this. I'm going to come out and tell you the truth of why I painted this painting. I had the experience of losing people really quickly to death, and I was like, whoa, like what happens to them? What is the experience? What is the dimensional experience of leaving your 3D body and going into, we don't know, right? We hope to know. So this is my concept. So I call it like a birth of energy you go through this tube. We've seen the tubes. We know about the black holes. We know about the white holes. We know about plasma tubes. We're coming closer and closer to the truth. And and we go to the light. They tell us we go to a light when we pass this earth. And so here we see these light bodies all coming out of this black tube, all being attracted by the light and coming into the center. So I could say it's an orb. But I noticed something that is a really self-discovery for me is that I've never felt free to really tell people what I'm really working on. So, and I really appreciate, Sheila, for you creating a platform for someone like me that could do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so here, it's the last painting. And then I'll be open to questions. This painting I call Ascension. It's a very emotional painting for me. It's 8 by 5 feet. It's a very big painting. So this was my girlfriend. She was going to come out BC, and she went to bed and she never woke up. So I was like, holy crap, it's like, how did this happen? How can you just go to sleep and not wake up? And so I had this whole process thing, and I saw her and she was visiting me, and she gave me a lot of information. Anyway, so this is the result of that information, where she said it was wonderful. It was wonderful to be free. And so I named this painting Ascension. It's a girl on a wooden swing that she's holding tightly on golden chains connected to God. And she's within her own golden Merkaba. And she's looking down on the murky clouds below. Do I really want to go there? Do I have a choice? Am I going to make the right decision? And I think, she would come back to help humanity, because humanity is, we're at a spiritual war, and we need help. So I call this Ascension, and it's a very moving painting for me. So I think that's all the painting's going to share.
That's beautiful. They're all amazing. I do have a couple actually I have a couple pages of questions, but I will not dominate all of the time, maybe. I might let you guys ask a couple questions here. I want to see if well, first off, I wanted to ask you, April, when did you first start painting?
I first started painting in kindergarten.
Yeah.
The teacher, she brought out little pots of paint and shiny paper, and you could finger paint. And I was hooked. I loved it. And every single day of kindergarten, I asked if we could paint, but it was a special event. Teacher didn't want to bring out that stuff every day. So I kind of rebelled even then. I was sent to kindergarten with a Easter egg candy for the teacher. It was Easter, and I wasn't going to give it to her. So I sat outside and ate the whole chocolate all by myself, because that teacher would not let me paint. So yeah.
Oh.
So even my natal chart shows that I'm an artist. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, when you were talking, you mentioned about bilocating. So for people that might not be familiar about that, can you share with them what bilocation is? And if it's not too personal, maybe share a couple of your experiences? Because it sounds like maybe you bilocated into the inner earth.
Yeah, I have. And boy, is it trippy there. I mean, there's so many entities to encounter. There's lots of rules. And there's how did I break in? I think, from the grids, and then I spent the past 3 years itself in Kathera. So now it makes sense, where before I was just like, what the heck? So yeah, the inner earth people, definitely. And bilocation, everybody can do it. You just have to learn the confidence that you're doing. I think that's the trick to learning it. So it's like every mother that I ever met knew when their child was in trouble. When their child was in trouble, they got a gut feeling or something, right? That's bilocating. You actually went there and saw your child and said, "Oh my God, what is it?" So this is the human potential that we are capable of. And it's just a matter of believing, testing. You could test, different ways. In my drawing class, I encourage people to take, when they go off in the world, take 10 cell phone photos of what attracts you. Just 10 random photos. Don't look at them until you get home in the evening. And then look at your photos, those 10 photos, to see what is attracting you. Because we're not conscious of our thinking sometimes. And this helps you become more conscious and be able to see more. So I'm always inviting people to see more of their environment, because we're that apparently only 4%, 10% of our environment can we see. So it's just like, what's going on, So the dimensions are that close, and the grids are real too. Yeah. Did that answer your question?
You did. And do you want to talk with people just a little bit about the grids?
Okay. I guess I've always seen them. I was in Bible study. It was a big bust, during the COVID, we went in Bible study, and we were talking about what God looks like. And I said, wow, God's huge. And he's like all these patterns and all these colors and all these frequencies. And I was describing something nobody understood what I was explaining, because everybody else said, oh, I see an old man with a beard. We're like, oh dear, I'm in the wrong place. So, but yeah, there are, I don't want to go into a science lecture on Kelons, but the grids are as above, so below. So when we look in the skies right now, we see grids being created all the time. They're called whatever they want to call them, but they're in our aerial space. Those are grids. Those grids create an energy. They're not water. So those grids, we can see ourselves. Those grids are within all the dimensions too. I guess that's the easiest way.
And they connect us together.
We're all one. We're all connected. That's my big message.
Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Now I want to go ahead and open up if anyone has any questions or has a comment about a particular piece. If you want to go ahead and ask a question or share, just please use the reactions button or just come off mute.
I'm just really glad, April, that you cry, because I cry when I sing. And that's the only way to express what you're feeling, right? You're just impressing the crap out of me. You always do. Your stuff is so cool. I mean, you can see how you've been transformed while you're doing stuff. I just love you to pieces.
Thanks, Susie. Thank you very much. So I started, November, I decided, how can I help the experiencer contactee community? And so I started a drawing class for people. And a lot of times what I do with my photographs is I'll draw them, because and using my remote viewing skills, which we're all endowed with, I focus on the painting, I focus on the photo, and then I'm able to draw and get more and more details that we can be able to differentiate from different types of things in the air. And so it's been really a fabulous experience for me and for the people in the classes. And I encourage people to draw what you're feeling, draw what you're seeing, even what you're sensing. Like, the angel song painting, I didn't see faces with like gold teppy tees behind them. But that's what I felt. I felt it, and I was like, how do I describe it? How, that's always the challenge. I mean, I could do landscapes, and I can do very well realism and that, but I just decided I'm in the great position just to create and try to encourage humans. Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Court, did you have a question? You looked like you were just about ready to say something.
Let me tell you, I signed on. I don't know if you can see it. I was so saddened earlier. I could have sworn I didn't realize the time, and I was actually outside photographing the moon. Actually, I live on a body of water. There was the I guess it's the North Star, the brightest star, filming in the reflection of the water. And I got this call for go burn, and let me tell you, I thought I missed this, and I'm so thrilled to be here because I've been waiting. So please excuse, I must have looked up the time wrong. But let me tell you, this is close to my heart. My father, who has now crossed over, he used to do murals on banks, and he worked for L'Oreal. He went to a Parsons art, and let me tell you, your artwork, when you get emotional, I totally, it is emotional, connection. And God bless you, because it's beautiful. And in his time, I'm just, all that you're saying, my father did it's immense. It's like the size of a picture window, and all the little brush strokes. It was a self-portrait, and when I'm admiring, I guess because I always saw his artwork, I've always been an admirer of artwork, just every little brush stroke. And I imagine I imagine them creating it, because it takes time, like you said, and it's an expression of a deep essence. And so I really thank you so much for sharing your work, and to know that you've connected with beings. I have my own, well, that's besides the point, but I have connections with and in mystical experiences. I've always been very drawn and connected to mermaids. And then I'm getting like, everything is like kind of being revealed. And yeah, someone calls me stuff. Anyhow, like I said, besides the point. But like I see Janelle has, I think it's the moon, a photo there, we're drawn, and the nature is like, I've been meditating 5 years, and it's like, I'm just so happy to connect with like-minded, or people that experience like-hearted type people. You're amazing.
Thank you. You are too. I'm surprised I got so emotional. I still am. And when I didn't have time to, like get the guard over the heart, Sheila called me and said, oh, can you do today? It's like, wow, I've only been thinking about it. So I put together everything, and it was the first time for me that I've seen this body of work together. And it was like, blew me away. Yeah. And I probably more, but yeah, it's powerful and it's real. You know, your journeys are real. That's what I want to tell everybody. It's real. Yeah.
Beautiful work. Thanks. Solar rays.
Hi. Hello. Hi, everybody. April, your art is very, very moving. It was visceral for me. It's almost like I recognize those images somehow. So it's also very triggering. And thank you so much. It made me think of the concept of the shining ones, those that are not necessarily inner earth, but either way, they're still beings. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Question for you is, I might have missed this. I joined the meeting a little bit late, this webinar, and why are you referring to them as refugees? Did they come from someplace, or are they stuck? And if so, how can we assist them in our own journeys?
Thank you. What a great question. How can we assist? Partly by awareness. If we don't know, you don't know. If you don't know, you can't change it, right? So awareness is one. And yes, they've been there for thousands of years. Apparently, this one group that I'm in communication with is when the monolithic religions came in and oppressed the feminine were pressed, and there's a lot of magic involved. And so there's another layer within the grids is but it all can be broken. They want us to know they exist. We can help them just by being aware of them, praying for them. Some people are more skilled and they can do other things, but we all can do a part. We need the feminine energy. We need it. And the earth is. But we're talking about a different kind of feminine energy that's been really repressed for a long, 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 long time. Our history. So good news is that the awareness is happening, and they're not going to stop. They will become free. And this is a good thing for everyone. So
wonderful. Thank you. That's happy news.
Great question. Thank you so much.
Could I ask an additional question?
Yes.
So what I meant to, I've heard of the crystalline grids. I don't know if that's similar. Is it when we talk about, you had mentioned there's a sun, inner sun in the earth. Is it a multidimensional in the earth? Is it the 3D in the earth per se, or is it more like a dimensional part of the aspect of the inner earth? I wonder.
Most of the things I meet, it's etheric. So I haven't gone into anything 3D yet, kinda. I have to think about it. But
have you heard of the crystalline grids?
Have. And I think everybody's, again, perception and frequency will resonate to the grids that they connect with. They're real. Like there's all kinds.
But the intention alone is the connection. Like you can just intend it and focus, and that's the sending. Right. Oh, Lynn McTaggart, the attention experiment, doggone, like you said, studying science. I've always, went to radiology anyway. So it's fascinating because now the heart center, goes so far out more than the brain. It's like way far out. So by tuning into the heart center, that, and just using that intent, I can't not do it now. Like I sent to the human family, I can't not, I love to have that connection awareness. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, And that's the whole point of us being here, right? Because we're all learning from each other and answering questions that we each have, and that's great. Yeah.
Great. Thank you again.
Perfect.
Does anyone else have any questions? All right. April, one of the things, as you're talking more about, I'm not really going to call them talents or skills that you have, but kind of your innate abilities. And it seems that you're able to translate those abilities or utilize those abilities when you're creating your art. And I was wondering if you could just talk a little bit about the process of bilocating and what people are able to experience. And maybe they can bring those experiences back and begin to express them themselves through art.
Bilocating through. Yeah. Doing art is a form of meditation. 100%. You cannot think of anything else. If you try to think of other things, you're going to be off track. So it takes a drawing, painting that is immense focus. It's just like playing the violin, learning the notes, immense focus, and you get better and better and better as you practice. If your intention is to see what your neighbor is cooking for dinner, right? That would be, but you want to, I mean, you could bilocate. You could have the intention of going in their kitchen. You could have the intention of smelling the air. This is what bilocating is. It is the intention. You want to do this. Yeah, that's what free will bilocation is.
Yeah. And can you explain to people the difference between bilocation and astral traveling?
Yeah. Astral traveling is going into the fourth dimension, usually. And, you want to actually go towards the higher fourth dimension. There's a lot of entities there. There's lots of action going on in the fourth dimension. And I wouldn't recommend just going in there, doing a meditation on YouTube and going there without some knowledge and armor on self-protection. Bilocation is 3D, you're on Earth, and you're bilocating on Earth. More advanced, you definitely could bilocate to other locations off Earth. But, this is new ground. We don't have the books. We don't have the information. We're creating as we go, we're, oh, look at me. This is how I do it. And so for me, bilocating is really, again, intention. Fourth dimensional astral travel is a whole different thing. Yeah.
So would you think that astral traveling has more to do, well, we've already established the fourth dimension, but the bilocation is working in the, I guess you would say, the inner earth, not the inside, but within the earth realm?
We are bigger than we know. We are huge. We are huge, if you think of it as having 5 hoover bodies. If we're as big as the earth, our frequency, each one of our frequency is unique, and frequency never goes away. And so that's why the grids, it's oh, my mentor will be so annoyed with me because I can't remember the word. But yes, that's why we can bilocate, because we're all connected. We're all one. We're bigger than we've been told. We are capable of much more than we've been told. And you can just experiment with yourself. You know, you could try seeing what's in your freezer without opening it. You could try reading a book without looking at the words. This is, you know, exercises, practice, just try. You know, if you want to, you know, find a guru that's he's still going to tell you practice. That's just like a musical instrument. It's just like drawing, practice. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was Edgar Casey that talked about taking a book and placing it under the pillow at night to begin to absorb some of that information. So that was brought to my mind when you were speaking. So
And water,
basically, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say water absorbs frequency too. So if you know good healing frequency numbers like 5 to 8 hertz, you could write it on a piece of paper, put a glass of water on top of that frequency number, and that water will absorb it because of your intention. So that's, I love saying that.
Thank you.
Where are you? I lost you.
I
Oh,
got a question.
okay, Susie.
Let's say we know some budding artists that might want to like show their stuff to April and to the group this month. What do they do?
Well,
Can I
I
get-
think that we already have all of our speakers lined out for the month. But if you're specifically wanting to get a hold of April, how can people do that?
Yeah. Let me share screen. I have a little ending screen if you don't mind.
Please.
With my contact information. So this is my website is aprilcottondyck.com. And so I have my first art show in 3 years on May 21 and 22. I'm putting it on my front garden, and I selected 100 pieces, little ones to large one, 100 pieces of art. Oh my goodness, I've been
Wow.
So, and then Sheila mentioned about my book, Making Contacts with Orbs. So it's a photo journey. And now what I'm doing is I'm taking my orb videos and photos and categorizing them by, are they, you know, I have a list of 18 different categories. And now I'm creating these YouTube videos that people are interested, researchers, whatever. Yeah. That's it.
Fun. Great. Thank you. Thank you. And so one of the tips I believe you gave people was to hold the intention and then to translate that intention onto the canvas, correct?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Do
On
you
the,
have
on the canvas, well, every artist has their own process. So some people like to pour painting, some people like to draw, some people, you know, put them in baby jars and bury them in the backyard. But I encourage everyone to be creative. That's part of humanity's biggest gift is our creativity. We're curious, we're creative, and we love learning about science as humans. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. That's awesome. So again, if people want to reach out to you, it's aprilcottondyck.com. April has a lot of her art. You also have calendars.
Not
Is
just
that
you.
correct?
I do have digital prints, t-shirts, large pieces, of course, and lots of small pieces. But yeah, I try to keep up. And my drawing classes, I will be starting lab 4 with LightNet, starting in June. This is a really great opportunity for people. So it's a very limited number of people, 8 people. And I'm going to be teaching people drawing contact. And it's going to be great. People just love it. They have a really great time. So yeah, make your drawing. It's fun.
Awesome. Well, April, thank you so much for being here tonight with us. And thank you for stepping in. Our original speaker was ill and not able to attend. Hopefully she'll be able to make it next week. But April graciously agreed to come on board. I know you said you were a little nervous, the fact that you had not put these pieces together yet. But what a journey that you were able to create, and how wonderful that was to share that journey with us. So I, for one, I'm very grateful to you for sharing that piece of you. And I loved how all of the photographs, I know you referred to them as refugees, but you could really see that soul aspect, and you could really see that light aspect. And one of the other things that I really loved about your art was the portals, and what I would interpret to be maybe a moon or a sun or something like that, all had the same vibratory frequency. It looked to me as if it was almost textured. And so I can't wait until you, I know you said something about playing around with the 3D art. Some of it looked, especially the ones that had the grid, really looked like it was 3D. And I had to keep, looking at the screen. It's like, how did she do that? But that was very impressive.
I have an angel painting. It's Metatron holding a book. I call it the bookkeeper. A very large angel painting. And I was painting outside, and a man way, way far away crossed the parking lot, crossed the street, and said, "How do you get that book to suspend in air?" And so, je ne sais pas. But what a great thing that happens. Yeah.
Yes, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Well, once again, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your journey with us. I want to thank everyone for being here with us tonight. April will be back with us every Monday this month. So yay, April. We'll get to see her smiling face with us every Monday night. And so until we're back together again, namaste, everyone. Much love, and I hope you have a beautiful week. So good night, everyone. Much love.
Yeah.